voice being an expert UI. Could you maybe unpack that concept a little bit?
When I first met Steve Jobs that very first day, we talked about about voice. And I said, here's how to think about voice. Many people think that voice will just replace the keyboard and replace the mouse and replace everything. I go, that's not what it is at all, because here's how to think about it. If it's on the screen, the best way is to interact with it directly, touch it through a menu or a button. And if you think about the iPhone, it reinvented touch. It gave us the direct manipulation interface and a revolution there. But if it's off the screen, the best way is to ask for it. And the ultimate interface is when you can combine the two so seamlessly in a multimodal experience that you're clicking and touching and asking for things that are off the screen and combining it all contextually. So that's how to think about voice in general. Now, expert modality, it's a subtle concept, but really important. Voice works well as an accelerator to something that you know exists. So if I say, find me restaurants in San Francisco to Siri, it's going to know that. I know that it knows that. It's the fastest possible way to request. Hit a button, say it, you're done. You don't have to bring up apps and scroll through and type and click. If you know where you're going, voice is the fastest way to get there. But the problem with voice, and people don't focus on this enough, is that you don't know where the boundaries are. What can I say? What can't I say? And when you ask for something that's out of scope, today's technologies doesn't do well. But when you ask for something in scope, it's the best and fastest way. So how do you navigate from a novice who's never used the system to an expert and everywhere in between seamlessly? Now, menus are a great direct manipulation interface. You can browse them. So when you arrive for the very first time, you can click and see what this thing does. What are the categories? What can I ask about? So for me, that's one of the biggest missed opportunities in voice, which is people have designed interfaces putting too much emphasis on voice, which is only really good if people know exactly what to say. But how do they know what to say? They have not focused enough on that life cycle of coming up to speed with what's in scope and what's out. But once you do that effectively, and we proved you can do it with the original Siri app, once you do that effectively, you get this incredible interface. I used to say in 2010, when we launched with Siri, our task completion rate was in the 90s. And today, if you look at any assistant, I mean, we've had revolutions in natural language processing and in speech, and none of the assistants are anywhere close to 90% task completion accuracy. Why is it? Because people don't know what to say. So that's one idea about speech as an expert modality.